भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो 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 भगवते वासुदेवाय। Sahanatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Shutikamaya Mrityoma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti. Good morning. If you are keeping well. I've been to Gujarat just to visit some of our centers and to see one of my brother monk who is sick. One thing I observed that everybody was, the state was chewing that, what that is called, gutka, pan parak, tambak, something they say, and spitting everywhere. The whole area has become a spitting place for you. You chew something and spit everywhere. How ugly it looks. A foreigner comes and looks at us. We are talking, big Mother India, Swachh Bharat. You spit everywhere, and everywhere actually, every place is a dustbin for you. And now, as I have already told you, the biggest disadvantage of democracy, governments, they won't enforce discipline upon people because what majority does, okay, that becomes a kind of norm or law. Because no government in a democracy dares antagonize its people. ప్రజాస్వామ్యంలో ప్రజలకి ఇబ్బంది పెట్టేటువంటి చర్య దేన్ని కూడా గవర్నమెంట్ పూనుకోదు. बिकॉज दैट विल कॉस्ट them heavily. Politically, they will lose. तो ज़्यादा लोग करते हैं उनको मदद करना पड़ता है. Okay. If majority of drinking means government has to support drinking. Otherwise, you lose your vote. That's why democracy is not a perfect system. Not even monarchy. Not even autocratic rule. Autocrat, despot, dictator. उनको दिमाग में जो आते हैं वो enforce करते हैं. That is another evil. And now we are under the impression that democracy is a perfect system, perfect form of governance. Not at all. You need to know. Ours is still a nascent democracy. I know if I say this, people will be offended. Hmm? Great intellectuals are writing in newspapers that the biggest democracy in the world. How great a democracy you are. Are you reflecting on that? How great a democracy you are. You become a great democracy where every citizen in the country behaves and acts in a responsible way. I have a responsibility towards my country. Do you discharge those responsibilities well? You have not only duties, responsibilities, and rights, you have duties also. Do you perform your duty as a citizen of the country? You are not performing. Where is the proof? Then why there is so much of corruption if you are discharging your duty as a responsible citizen of the current country? The corruption in the country is a proof that we could not create responsible citizens through our education system. This is always celebrating democracy, biggest democracy in the world. You are enjoying freedom, but you are misusing the freedom. Everywhere we throw litter. With the kind of plastic use that has gone up in recent months and years, everything is packeted and sold because we are living in cities. And on an average, I don't know exact statistics, every citizen generates so much of garbage. And municipalities and corporations are finding it difficult to handle the quantum of garbage. Where do you dump that garbage? Where are the landfills available? Hmm? Every town and every city, every village you just see, outskirts, a huge pile of garbage. And today, actually, because of the debris burning in Punjab and Haryana, Delhi, the air pollution has gone up to such an extent that somebody was saying, in Delhi, if you breathe air for one day, it's as good as you are smoking, 10 cigarettes you are smoking. See, it's equivalent to smoking 10 cigarettes per day. If you breathe air in Delhi, that much of air pollution has come there. So, fundamental requirement of life. What is the fundamental requirement of life? Basic and first requirement, air. Then comes water, right? Then food. Then clothing. Yes. Then shelter. The most fundamental and the first is air, clean air. We all want to live in cities, but clean air itself is not available. Fundamental requirement of life. How can you keep good health? So that's why I suggest we need to move back to villages. The only solution to all the problems of our country is decentralized life. Educated people, young people who are cultured and spiritually oriented must live in villages and they must rejuvenate villages. Villages are not today, they don't have direction. I'm not saying that immediately go to village and do the things because the atmosphere there, particularly psychological environment, is not good at all. People are polarized on caste lines, people are polarized on party lines, and they talk ill of each other because cultural empowerment and spiritual empowerment has not been given to them. Earlier, how villages used to be, Indian villages, some 20, 30 years back, whole village would live like a community, right? They celebrate every festival together. That community bonding would be there. Beautiful villages, full of peace and happiness and joy, because entire village would live like one family. They would help each other, celebrate festivals together. So much of cultural component, spiritual component that in Telugu states, I don't know, in other states, they have their own cultural forms, Burakatha, Harikatha, everything related to God, everything connected to spirituality, everything connected to creator. Somehow our culture is designed in such a way, just by living here itself, you would naturally move towards God, move towards ultimate truth. Those cultural components, that richness of Indian culture, today we are losing it very fast because we are imitating the West, thinking that they are more developed than we are. So the immediate and urgent need is cultural and spiritual empowerment of the race. Yesterday, one student came. He came late, and he came late 8:15 in the morning batch. I said, people said we can't permit you now like this, so it would disturb the class. They requested him gently. It doesn't matter. You have come from far off place. We know, but at the same time, if you come so late, if you permit you to enter into the classroom, it would disturb the rest of the class. You don't have the right to disturb the rest of the class. But he got offended and stayed back and met me, hmm, and saying that, we want all the details. Why you are teaching religious preaching here, right? So he wanted me under RTA Act. I'm asking, Swamiji, RTA Act. I want all this information. I said I bore him for some time. And patiently I listened. If our people were harsh with you, I tender apology. I see. Okay, please excuse us. I'm sorry, I said. But still, he was persisting. Then I had to give him a peace of mind. He wanted, why you are giving religious instruction? Array, this is a private organization. We are not under anybody. What we want to give, we will give. If you like it, you come. If you don't like it, get lost. Cultural and spiritual empowerment of the race is the first requirement. Don't expect the politicians will give you. Don't expect the bureaucrats will give you. They will not give you. It's not possible in a democracy like this because they only do what majority like. But most of the important things, things connected to truth, we don't relish. For that, we need to be empowered culturally. That's a Herculean task. And we are actually, there are other group of organizations which are swimming against the flow and trying to empower the people to some extent culturally and spiritually. Without culture and spirituality, human beings will degrade themselves lower than animals. There is such scope and possibility. Okay? That's the reason we are all the small pockets of people who are trying to give some culture and spirituality to the race because that is the need of the hour. Everything else will be taken care of. That's what Vivekananda says. You don't have the right to all these questions. Then I told her, I had to give my peace of my mind to the student. Immature. I understand because the kind of education system is like this. I don't find fault with the young man as such, but problem with the education system. But we are expecting so much from democratic governance. It doesn't happen. You have to empower yourself. You should need to be wise. Hmm? Thank you. Have a nice day.